can I pull a 2-minute statement out of you about natural immunity?
Sure.
And why the vaccine mandates don't make any sense in the passports?
Oh, well, that's a half-hour talk. But let me cut to the chase on that.
And can you address the mayors of Maui, Hawaii, Big Island, and Kauai?
Okay, consider you're all addressed. I'll never remember the list. The issue of vaccine mandates is irrational because the whole point of a vaccine is to do two things: to protect the person who takes it and to protect others from that person. If the vaccine works, then people can freely choose to get vaccinated. So the vaccine is available, it's free of cost. Then anybody who wants to get it can make a free choice to get it. Then anybody who chooses to protect themselves can protect themselves by getting vaccinated. That means the state no longer has an interest in any mandates because there's no one left to protect. The state has no business protecting people who choose for themselves not to be protected, because the people who want to be protected are able to protect themselves. So if the vaccines work, there's no problem. So why should vaccinated people be afraid to be around unvaccinated people? They're vaccinated. Do the vaccines work? That's what we've been led to believe. The vaccines work, that people freely choose to get vaccinated. They should have no fear whatsoever of being around unvaccinated people. So there's no grounds for a mandate in any circumstance whatsoever. Alternatively, if the vaccines don't work, there's no grounds for a mandate for mandating something that doesn't work in the first place. So either way, there's no grounds for requiring people to be vaccinated. You can say there's evidence of benefit. You can say people should make rational decisions for themselves. People should be able to choose if that's a route that they want to take to protect themselves and it's appropriate, their doctor says it's appropriate, so on, then they're free to choose. Let them do that. But there's no grounds to force anybody because the individuals can protect themselves today.
Thank you. The assumption, I believe, is that the unvaccinated will spread the virus. I understand your point. If you feel like you're protected from the vaccine, big deal. But maybe there's acknowledgement that the vaccine isn't 100%. And so we really need to protect by keeping the unvaccinated who are spreading the virus around. But it seems, from what I'm reading the science, that the vaccinated are getting infected and are spreading it, and perhaps even more so than the unvaccinated. Is that correct?
Yes. So there's 2 points to that. One is that the vaccinated people select for mutations that evade their vaccine immunity. And so they make it worse. If nobody were vaccinated, you get mutations, but the mutations only have to be slightly better than the virus that started in that person. Every person makes hundreds of thousands of mutations. Each person makes thousands of mutations. The ones that get out are the ones that are better than the virus that came in. So a virus that could reproduce a little bit faster is going to be the one that comes out of a normal person. But when you have vaccine immunity and you should suppress all of those kinds of viruses through the immunity, the ones that get out have to be really better, and that's what happens. It takes a little longer because it takes a longer while for these mutant strains to get out into the public, but it selects for them, and that's what happens, and that's what we've seen. So the development of these kinds of mutant strains occurs because of inadequate, what's called leaky vaccination, non-sterilizing vaccination. They are that's the cause of serious mutant strains, not unvaccinated people. Unvaccinated people might have more infections on average than vaccinated people, but they're the same ones. They're not generating new ones. It's the vaccinated people who are making the scary strains, so to speak, that we have to worry about. And the second thing is that the vaccinated people are still developing the illness. And there have been cruise ships where everybody was vaccinated when they were allowed onto the cruise ship, both the staff and the passengers that have had epidemics. I think it was Duke University that just reported it had 350 new cases among students, mostly among students who were 98% vaccinated. And you can see that these are large numbers of infections, both testing positive and infections occurring in vaccinated people. They occur. Whether they're as serious or not, probably they're not on average quite as serious. They can still be serious, but on average, they're probably less serious. Many of them still would benefit with treatment or need treatment. That's the whole point of having early treatment available. But we're not going to solve this by mandating vaccines, because that's basically damaging our society as a whole. And you have to look for ulterior motives if you're mandating vaccines when that's actually causing more damage than it's solving. So that I would leave that. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. You have to look for why people do things, and that's for people to find out information on their own and see how that goes.
Okay. Well, thank you again, Dr. Risch. Is there anything that you haven't covered that you'd like to before we close?
I don't know. I was very appalled by what I saw from President Biden tonight. I really felt that I was in Nazi Germany. That
what did you hear from?
He basically said, he demonized unvaccinated people. He said, the damage that's being done to our society is coming from unvaccinated people. Basically, what he said is, I'm expecting Antifa groups to be going around in the public places demanding people's vaccine cards and beating up people who are unvaccinated. That's what I saw tonight from our president.
That's where you see it going.
Yes. And I will say one other thing, that your governor, in saying having digital passports, is creating Nazi Germany in Hawaii. That is exactly what, papers please. I hear him clicking his heels together in salute. That is exactly what's happening, that there is no call for that degree of coercion by any democratic country. We're not talking about Jacobson versus Massachusetts in 1905, when the state has an interest in suppressing a life-threatening illness like smallpox. Smallpox killed 10% of the people who got it. We're talking about something that kills 0.3% of the people who get it. So the state's interest in being as draconian here is absurd. It is a total coup, a COVID coup against democracy, and because of the draconian nature, not because of having vaccines, but because of the draconian nature. Australia setting up concentration camps for unvaccinated people. This is a complete rejection of democratic society for a totalitarian society. And the fact that people are not standing up, people are saying, oh, well, I'm so scared because I could get COVID, or I've been vaccinated, so it's no skin off my back. I don't care what's happening to the rest of society. I've been vaccinated. Where are Americans? Where is our spirit of liberty? Where is our spirit of freedom? Where are our core values for democracy? No one is standing up for this. No one is standing up to your idiot governor. No one is standing up. There's a recall for the Governor Newsom of California because of his idiocy. Look at Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, who has no idea about anything medical and makes wrong decisions of the totalitarian kind. And same in Australia. People are very good at making little practical solutions for crippling their societies, and they're extremely poor at thinking out the real ways that solve this pandemic. They're not interested in solving the pandemic. They're interested in acquiring power for suppression and control. And that is unfortunately and why people are willing to take that, why Americans and Canadians and Australians and so on are willing to just sit passively by and not protest, why there aren't riots in the street. I just don't understand.
Mm-hmm.